Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Trainz Simulator, Trainz. Today we'll be taking a look at the I1sa from the Pennsylvania Railroad, made by K&L Trainz. We already took a look at the Trainz Simulator Classic version, so I thought it'd be fitting to take a peek at the Trainz version while I think about it, because I will absolutely forget. So, I already talked a little bit about history in the TSC version, but the gist of it is these were, I believe, the largest decapods built in the United States. One of the most powerful decapods ever built, and they were despised by crew. These locomotives rode very hard. They were very rough. But they had an undeniably great amount of power and a beautiful amount of tractive effort. Very powerful locomotives, very powerful. So that made them liked by the Pennsylvania Railroad as an asset more so than as a comfort. Because yeah, crews just did not like them at all. With the K&L pack, you will get pre-war and post-war. So pre-World War I, post-World War I. You'll also get two separate tenders. You'll get a coast-to-coast tender and then the standard short tender. I don't know the actual designations, I'm not going to lie. But you also get a set of hoppers and two cabooses. An N5C caboose with and without train phone. And then you'll get the H21 hoppers and the GLA hoppers. Sure. So that's nice. And they are randomized colors, so as you put them down, it'll put a randomized scheme down. Where's our caboose? Our cabooses. With train phone, without train phone. Giveaway for the train phone, for those that don't know, is going to be these the poles up here. So I don't remember exactly when these came out. These are one of K&L's more modern modeling techniques. So they're not quite as, they're not the same era as the old K4s that we looked at. Well, the old streamlined one anyway. I don't have the originals. They don't like to work anymore. But you will, I believe there's a freeware scenario available for the coal country route, which is what we're on right now. Yeah. So right now we're looking at a post-war model. Post-war, you're really large differences are the headlights are going to move, the generator is going to move, the marker lights are going to move, and then of course the tender, different whistle, and I believe the post-war, the pre-war doesn't have the shield. Yeah, the pre-war doesn't have the shield. What else? Not much else. Pre-war, post-war, they're not a massive difference. It's just enough to, you know, look at them and go, yeah, it's not identical. So here we have a pre-war and a post-war sitting next to each other. As you can see, the headlight on the pre-war model here, it hangs out over the boiler while the generator sits just in front of the smokestack. And then the marker lights are down here. And then of course the shield on the whistle, different whistle model. They were originally built with Banshee style whistles, if I remember correctly, and crews did not like the Banshees, and they were often swapped out for three chime whistles later on whenever the rebuilds happened, which is modeled here. And yeah. So, matter of fact, they don't even change. Yeah. Our footboard's here, the same, unlike the K4. The footboard swaps out. Anywho, let's dive into it. So detail-wise, really nice overall. A little bit drab, but that's fine. These things would not have stayed clean at all. These were the Pennsylvania Railroad's backbone freight locomotive. These, especially for coal drags, these were extremely popular for coal drags. Not with the crew, but coal operations would make a locomotive very dirty very quickly, and that is modeled here. It'll give it a very drab coal dust color. So, not bad. Overall, it looks really, really nice. Pull up our HUD here. Headlight, not too bad. I think it's a little bit too white. Not quite yellowed enough for an incandescent, but it's not bad. And then let's see what else we got. Of course, our bell. The bell does function. It's kind of that standard Pennsylvania Railroad style of bell. Pretty nice bell sound. Whistle. I hope you don't like your ears, because your ears are stupid anyway. So, I don't know entirely. I don't know the story on where K&L got this whistle from, but ow. So of course I'm wearing a headset to do the video, and it murders my ears, but it's not a bad whistle sound. To be perfectly honest, it sounds like a cracked whistle off of an older locomotive, which technically speaking, these whistles would have come off of older locomotives that were on the scrap line. But yeah, don't wear your headset when fiddling with this version. So this is the post-war model, by the way. But yeah, wow, murderous. Details: we got automatic fireman, high beams, on off. Nothing really special as far as eyeball details go. I don't believe. Yeah, these have the standard Trainz steam locomotive cab, so nothing special there. We do get a brakeman brakeman view for a doghouse on the coast to coast tender here. Pretty nice. Nothing on the board here. Pennsylvania Railroad. Buy K&L bonds. Not too bad. Huge tenders. So let's hop over to are we on a pre-war model here? So like I said, not a whole lot's gonna change. Most of it's gonna be cosmetic, but you will get a different whistle sound, but just to prove. Bell sound still the same. But the whistle is I don't know how you describe that. So that's supposed to be the Banshee whistle. It sounds like the audio file was definitely taken from an old, like a video, an old movie or a video or a tape recording of most likely the I1s. But I don't know, it sounds more like air being pushed through a tiny tube more so than a whistle. If you listen real hard, you can just barely kind of hear the tone, that high-pitched scream that the Banshee whistles are. If I remember correctly, if you go back to my Train Simulator classic videos, the H10s, that's a more modern recording of a Banshee whistle. I believe it's off of the Reading and Northern's, their 462 wore a Pennsylvania Railroad Banshee whistle for a little bit. So yeah, it's not the worst whistle I've heard, but I don't know. It's hard to really hear the tune of the whistle over that. I mean, granted, it's probably what they might have sounded like maybe later on in their working careers. I don't think it would have sounded like that brand new from the factory. I feel like that would have been a more worn whistle. But so the smoke or the steam, the effects are not too bad until it starts to get out here. Then you start to see the cut off edges and whatnot. So not hugely sold on that. The steam effects from the sides here are not too bad. Those look pretty decent. The steam coming from your generator doesn't look bad. Idle steam or idle smoke looks pretty good. So let's go to that one. Use this one to go down the road, but first off, we got to look at our caboose here, our caboosins. So the caboose don't look bad. Caboose. They have a kind of modeled interior, which it's kind of a shame to go through this much trouble for the interiors and then black out the windows. So you can't really see inside the caboose at all, but it does kind of have an interior. Texture wise, it's not terrible. These are not individual rivets modeled, which I get. It's a headache in Trainz, but it is kind of a blatantly obvious until you get back around like here. But once you get up close, it is kind of obvious that they're just a texture over an object. But not too bad. Now, I will say, this red, I would love to see the prototype for this red. It is almost reminiscent of model railroading, which, granted, all credit where it's due, Trainz is more of a model railroad simulator than it is a train simulator, but that is awful bright red. So these are the H21s, the longer ones, and then the G5Ls, GL5, GLs. Yes, the small hopper. These are loadable and unloadable. There are some preset consists. We do have a caboose view, which is cool. I kind of wish it was up looking out the window, but oh well. It do be what it do be, don't it? There's sometimes, oh yeah, you show a brakeman hanging out the window. That's pretty cool. It does have marker lights on the rear, which I think they toggle whenever it's the rear of the locomotive or the train. Yeah, so like here we don't have the marker lights. So it does spawn marker lights on the caboose, but they're not lit. Just kind of entertaining to me, but it's not highly noticeable. I typically don't run trains at night, so it's not such an issue. So let's take it down the tracks, shall we? Shelf sounds are going to be identical. No change. Set our switches here so we don't end up in a not so nice place. Got just kind of the standard Trainz idle noise for the rolling stock. Nothing real fun. This makes you a little bit sad, but like I said, these are some older models. They're not really old per se, but they're definitely older. You hear the background noise for our industries over here. It is nice that you can hear the whistle a long way off. A little bit of smoke from our caboose. I didn't note that earlier. I guess now I can kind of see it way back there. Got a fire going in our caboose. So the chuff sounds aren't necessarily special. They are one that K&L has used a few times, but they're not bad. They're not bad sounds at all. And like I say, with just about every Trainz video I do, it's not hard to change the sounds out on Trainz if you don't like the sounds. The only reason I haven't swapped them out, really, myself, is to do the video. But, I don't know, the chuff sounds on this version don't sound that bad. I think they kind of fit. They're kind of a nice... They got a nice deep tone, but they bark like a locomotive that's pulling hard with some hefty cylinders, which these things do. These are beefy, big old locomotives. I think, if I remember reading correctly, these wouldn't have really got over 40 mile an hour very often. 30 to 40 miles an hour is about what they did tops. Because they're built for coal drags. Something up and down the mountain. Places you wouldn't be getting up to high speeds anyway. So. decided to do some interesting there. Bring it to a stop. See how quick it stops. Sometimes the trains, they're bad about just stopping on a dime. Well, not too bad. It doesn't stop on a dime. It stops pretty quick. Enough so to kind of give the illusion of a train simulator instead of a model train simulator, but it's not bad. Not bad. The nice part about K&L stuff is it's actually round, not angles, hexagons and octagons and such. The stuff's actually right and proper round. So that looks really nice. But yeah, start stops. Sounds pretty decent overall. I don't hate it. Just to prove to you guys, it is the same sounds. Oh, I forgot to note that. Go ahead and bring it to a stop. So these have automated coaling systems. Not automated, but heck, I forgot the word. He's got a coal screw in them. Sorry guys, I know there's a better term for it. My brain just took a fart. But it is modeled here, and it actually does spin. Which is really a coal stoker. That's the word I'm looking for. But it is modeled, which is really cool. It's a neat thing to watch. You know, one of those little details. I love little details like that. I like to see it in model trains. I like to see it in trains. But oh yeah, what was it? Is there anything I didn't take a look at the tender here? Boom. Got a cab view for the short tender too. It's not as fancy as the coast to coast, but still not bad. Yeah. That's about it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, this is a K&L Trainz product. Pick this up on K&L's website. Pretty cheap. I don't remember exactly what the price was off the top of my head, but well worth it. His stuff's not very expensive to begin with, so I highly recommend picking up anything and everything you can from him anyway. But if you're a Pennsylvania Railroad guy, this is a must-have for your collection. If you enjoy the coal country route, it's a must-have for your collection. Maybe you just like oversized decapods. But well worth taking a look at. So go over, check it out, pick it up if you like it. I will see you guys next time.